Ladies and gentlemen, horses and cows, welcome back. This is part 2 of the Russell Westbrook trade. This is a segment from Speak for Yourself. These gentlemen had some interested take on the trade about how it will work, how it won't work. They're going to view their opinion. I'm going to chime in with some notes here and there. Hopefully you like it. Okay? Let's check it out. Hear what they have to say.
Smart. Desperate? Yeah, you were right. You were accurate. Back against the wall is synonymous with being desperate. Hey, I got to come out fighting. And they came out fighting. They only had 2 options this offseason. One was to stay still, stay pat. Hey, man, basically the last couple of years, we've been the second best team in the Western Conference. All right, Golden State is taking some hits. No Clay most of the season, if not the entire season. No KD for sure. They're coming back to us. Let's stay still until the Clippers, Lakers, Denver, Utah, Portland were acting like donkeys out there in free agency, and they realized, what are we going to do? So guess what they did? They got younger, bigger, faster, stronger, and better at the same position. You asked me, is that a good situation? Is that a smart move? It's an absolute genius move in the sense of maybe they're not title contenders, Vegas odds, what most people are saying in consensus, but in terms of confidence, in terms of inspiring that group, they're going to believe a little more that they got a chance because they got durability on top of all the other attributes I just named. So you add it all up, it makes sense to me.
I'll have to wait to see.
That's Matt Barnes, ladies and gentlemen.
I say smart move because if you look at it the last 3 years, they went from tied for 1 to second to out to the 3rd seed. They wasn't the top 2 seed. They was the 3rd seed this year behind Denver. So teams are getting better. They wasn't getting better, and they seen that. They needed to make a move with Russ. I think it's a great move to me because you need 2 stars. You need more than 1 star to be successful in the NBA today. 1 star ain't going to get it. So the move was right, but the problem is the owner is ignoring everything that he's hearing and seeing on all these TV shows. Great move you've made. You just have the wrong coach. And that move will be for nothing if they don't get another coach in there.
I agree with your point about, wow, they really complicated with Mike D'Antoni as the coach because who's going to be the arbitrator? I don't think it's going to be Mike D'Antoni. However, I just think it's a dumb move for a bunch of the reasons I said. But again, you need 2 stars, but that do the exact same thing?
Well, I think Russ has way more energy than James. He does way more than James as far as rebounding, assisting. He does way more. But let me
ask you this. When James Harden says, go stand over in this corner while I pat the ball for 20 seconds, what's that do to Russ's energy?
It doesn't do nothing to him because just like if Matt wanted the ball and I had a mismatch and he was down on the post, I'm willing to throw it to my brother because we're on the same page. We're sacrificing for each other. That's a great move, and I think it can work with them too. But you have to have a coach to hold them accountable. He hasn't held James accountable. Russ has a stronger personality than James. He's not going to be able to hold Russ accountable at all. Russ is going to run over D'Antoni. They need a coach to hold Russ accountable.
I think with your high basketball IQ, you're actually overthinking this one. This is really elementary. And let's go back to elementary school when you got those report cards and you had one of those grades that says, does he play well with others? Remember that?
Yeah.
That's a bad grade in that. That must have been hard to deal with. But you know what? To be real, and as Matt said, when it's your friend, we on that seesaw, we got to play well with each other. So D'Antoni's the best coach. Because if you had a coach who was rigid with system and philosophy and said, you have to do this, you have to do this, you're not empowering these 2 alpha personalities to go out there and work it out themselves. I think this is going to be a beautiful thing where he's going to give them the freedom to figure this out.
Too much freedom might be bad.
No, because everyone, including Jason, has been saying, when is Westbrook going to get off ball? Well, guess what?
He's definitely off the ball.
He's definitely off the ball now, right? So he's going to fall right into a convenient space.
But my question is what Russ has never sacrificed for anyone from the outside looking in. He didn't sacrifice when he had James and KD earlier. So now at this point, is he willing to take a step back for James? And what does that look like? Because let's keep in mind that Chris was probably top 2 or 3 point guards in the NBA when he went to Houston and then took a huge step back. And everyone's saying he can't play, but you can't judge someone's statistical output based off if you take what they do away, the best away from them. Chris was great with the ball in his hand, making other players better and scoring in spots when he needs to. And I think that was the disconnect was That's what Chris wanted to get back to some. Obviously, James is the best offensive weapon in the game, some may argue, but he's not the distributor. Even though he averaged 8 points a game, he has the ball 90% of the time, so he could average more. So
8
assists.
Yeah,
8
yeah.
assists a game.
8 assists, excuse me. So I think that's what Chris wanted to get back to, was moving the ball, and then when we need a bucket, let James go get it. So now with Russ, like we said, the ball's going to be out of Russ's hands. How does he react to that? But I think the only way to make that work, like I said earlier, these guys both have to sit down and sacrifice, and I think they can because they're friends and they really do mess with each other, and that's the only way this will work.
And both of these guys have a right to have enormous egos.
Right.
They've been MVPs. Russell Westbrook, man, Oscar Robinson's the only guy that's ever done what I've done, and I've done it 3 times. James Harden's like, I'm the best offensive player in the league. And Mike D'Antoni as the referee, who's pretty much a lame duck in the first place, it just seems like a recipe for disaster. I do look. I see Daryl Morey taking this Hail Mary, saying, you know what, the wind's blowing in a direction where Russell Westbrook has to change. But I've just seen very few young men and even older men with a $200 million contract that's
Stuck in their
remotely
ways.
interested in change.
It's going to go downhill not being accountable. I'm telling you, they're going to run over D'Antoni, and mid-season, they're going to be looking to make a move or figure it out why it ain't working. If it's not going to work because of D'Antoni, I'm telling you it's not going to work.
So D'Antoni can't keep them accountable because he allows them to have freedom?
No. Winning, freedom is, you have to give your stars freedom. That's not what I'm
You
saying.
need respect.
You got to have respect. And
Head coach.
going out there and doing what you want, shooting what you want, turning the ball over, that's not buying in. That's not respecting your coach. That's not doing what you need to do for your teammates. You see what I'm saying? And only a coach can get you to do that. Perfect example. On the Spurs, Pop made it a point to every time Tim made a mistake to get in his face and to get on him, because we had to take it after that.
Yeah.
Once you get on the best player, you have to take
Everybody
it.
thought.
Why you think they were so successful all the time Tim was there? Because everybody bought in and respected how he taught through Tim.
That's what
If you
Phil
can't
did
get on
with
your
Kobe.
top players, if you can't teach through them, the rest of the team not going to respect you either.
I don't know this, and I don't want to speculate. But again, Marcellus, I think it's just like marriage. Even successful in their marriages, a lot of times need counseling.
Oh, definitely.
And so,
In there right now,
Right.
brother. And Thursday, 2 o'clock.
That's funny, dude. All right, I'm gonna end this video on that note. Marcelo, good luck with your marriage, man. All right, y'all. Peace out.